Hello, world. Welcome to episode 3 of Real Talk. I'm your host, Houston Whitehead.
And I'm your co-host, Kyle Patterson.
And this week, for our in-theater film, we went and saw Expendables 2. Me and Kyle and another friend went and saw it at like 10 p.m. We had the whole place to ourselves, so we completely enjoyed this movie to its full extent. 2 is a continuation of the first one, of course. It does sync with it a little bit. It's pretty much all the old like 90s action stars coming together to pretty much blow stuff up and make fun of their previous movies that they were known for, make fun of lines in their movies that they're known for. It's not only shoot 'em up, blow 'em up action, constant explosions, but it's also a movie that makes fun of itself.
Yeah, it's action overload.
Yeah,
It's like the action movie you always wanted to see, with like all the people you've always wanted to see in an action movie, but it doesn't take itself seriously, and it couldn't take itself seriously if it was trying to. But yeah, so
to me, it's that movie when it's that dream when I was a little kid, and it's just like, what if the Terminator and Rambo got together and defeated evil.
Yeah.
Like that it's that on steroids.
Yeah.
All those action stars that you love, you're just like, what if they all came together? Well, these movies are those moments. And if you love their individual movies, it's the same stuff, just no plot. Like zero plot this time. I mean, most action films have a minimal base plot just to kind of push it along toward the explosions and whatnot, but this definitely takes the cake. So, Kyle, what did you think of this movie?
Well, I've never seen the first one. I should probably do that soon. But so I went to this movie without no knowledge of the first one other than just what it was about. But I didn't really know that it didn't take itself as seriously. I think in my mind I was expecting this giant action movie for the sake of it being an action movie. I was kind of expecting something like Die Hard again.
Everyone trying to be cool all the time.
Yeah, always trying to be cool all the time. So when it started out kind of like semi-serious with some humor in there, I was at first I was a little like, okay, wait a minute, I gotta kind of readjust like what my expectations are of this movie. I think once I realized that this is a giant action movie that doesn't take itself seriously and it isn't trying to be super serious, I think then I actually started enjoying the film a lot more. I was like, okay, I get the joke, I get what this is about. This is just eye candy and just fangasm shots on like every single scene. So by the end of the movie I really enjoyed it.
That's good.
I don't know if it's my favorite thing that I've ever seen, but in terms of like action movies I've seen in the past couple years, I mean this is pretty freaking good. I mean, It's got all the things that you want to see in an action movie, and in that sense I think it fulfilled its purpose, and I had a great time. I had a great time watching it. It was a great popcorn movie for sure.
Yeah, for sure. I did see the first one, and I did enjoy the first one for what it was. It's kind of its own little genre of or subgenre of action, and the fact that it's in my mind it's like a fun action movie.
Yeah,
it's not like Vin Diesel saying 5 words through the whole film. Like I actually like Vin Diesel. I don't think he's that bad of an actor as people hate on him, but I mean he plays the cool guy all the time in all his movies. He says very few words. They're always like cool little one-liners or whatever. And if this movie did that, it would be bad. But because it doesn't, because it has fun, you're having fun with them. And the fact that I've seen all of their 90s movies, I get all of their jokes. It made this flick very enjoyable, but it kind of pushes it into a fanboyish realm to the fact that there's some jokes that you may not get if you didn't. No, but I mean stuff like Terminator references. Like if you don't know those, you need to. You got a lot more problems.
If you haven't watched anything from the 80s or 90s, you're probably not going to understand what's going on in this movie.
Yeah, for sure.
What did you think about the acting in this film? Or at least, well, I should say, what did you think about the assemblage of characters the ensemble of characters that we had in this film? Did they meet your expectations? Were you happy with what you presented with?
Yeah, I mean they're the same guys. They weren't trying to be more than what they're known for.
Yeah.
They weren't trying to push it to the next level. They were just.
I think every character was like put in the right role.
Yeah, it's just like if you take each character from all or the character that they played in their 80s or 90s movie, and you just put them in the setting and you tweak them enough to where they all fit together like a puzzle piece, like an actual action team or a tactical team, then it really worked. And they only made those small tweaks to make them fit together, not to ruin their image in any way.
Yeah.
So when you see, Terry Crews do something crazy, or when Jason Statham does something really cool, you kind of think,
oh, Transporter.
You think of that character because he is that character that he's known for in those Transporter or Crank or whatever movie he's in. So you, when they had these little moments where they get to shine, you kind of get pulled back into their what they're known for. So that was kind of cool that they gave them little pieces of the pie as the movie went on.
Yeah.
So you kind of got to enjoy your favorite action hero.
Yeah, I liked everything and every person in this movie just because they knew what they were doing. I especially enjoyed the little quips back and forth that kind of made fun of their lines. There's like a part where it's Bruce Willis and Arnold Schwarzenegger, fighting these guys, and that they're like quoting each other's movies, sort of. And it's very like, haha, we're making a Terminator reference or making a Die Hard reference, and I was like, that's pretty funny. And the only people I didn't like were the Asian lady who took the place of Jet Li's character.
Yeah, they tried to throw in a love interest.
I don't know what it was supposed to be. It was they were filling the Asian kung fu quota because Jet Li wasn't in it, so they needed someone to do martial arts, and they were like, well, let's just get this. I don't know what she's been in or what she's from, but she was just sort of a forgettable character that was just like, it was obligatory to be in there. I don't know. Maybe that's part of the joke. Maybe it's the cliche that we're missing. But
I don't know. Well, I mean, the fan that I am of what this movie was supposed to be, I'm not sexist in any way, but I really didn't find that there needed to be like female fighters in this movie because I don't know.
The whole premise of the movie is these macho, manly action stars.
The movie was
90s.
Built on testosterone and steroids. And throwing this in just kind of was throwing a wrench in the gears for me. Just kind of when I saw her, I was just like, I kind of forgot what movie I was in. It kind of pulled me out.
Yeah.
When I saw her, and I'm just like, why is she here again? And I mean, she's the love interest, and it gets to the end, and I'm just like, I don't care. Like, you're sitting at a bar and you get her a drink.
No one's really gonna date Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah. I mean, you're getting her a drink. I don't care if something's not blowing up in this movie. Like. You're not doing it right.
I just thought she was kind of forgettable. The guy,
unneeded.
Who's the guy? The guy who played Captain Kirk in the new Star Trek was in this too. Chris Pine.
Okay, yeah.
And he dies in the first. Spoiler. He dies in the first 10 minutes of the movie.
It's the motivation for the
I thought. I don't know. It was okay. He was kind of a young guy, I guess. But I think his point. I think that was another cliche they were making fun of. Is like, it was my fault for him dying. That kind of thing. Like the first. Have you ever seen Cliffhanger with Sylvester Stallone?
Mm-hmm.
The very beginning is like this young girl is climbing with him and she accidentally dies while he's trying to save her. And so I think that was the cliche. It was like the rookie that died and now it's on his guilt or whatever.
And honestly, I kind of want to watch it again just to see if there's some more things that I missed. Because throughout the movie, there's just like little pokes that you may miss. So I kind of want to. I think it's rewatchable for me just to see how detailed they put those.
I think I'll wait till this comes out on DVD before.
Oh yeah.
This. I don't know if I'd paid for this.
No. I mean,
Yeah.
I'll borrow it from someone or I'll Redbox it and show some friends. And in that event of showing people the madness of this movie, I will, try to pick out some other cool stuff.
So Houston, is there any highlights from this film you think were probably your favorite parts, or least favorite parts, whatever you want to talk about.
My
notable?
most favorite part was the Chuck Norris cameos.
Yep, that's me too.
and they like shove those really hard into the trailers. That was kind of the that one thing that they try to pull you in with. Sometimes on those horror movies they do the naked chick in the shower that's getting ready to like get killed by a monster.
Yeah.
In this, it was Chuck Norris was that naked girl in the shower. Well, not literally, but it was that it was that same piece that they try to get you in the theater with.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's a big explosion, I guess, for Transformers or something. I don't know, a building toppling down by a big machine going through it.
But just hairy man.
Yeah.
That was the teaser for this.
But seeing Chuck Norris with a gun was almost just made your heart race.
Yeah.
Like, what? Because he's kind of anti-gun in almost everything he's in. But those moments. I don't want to ruin it for anyone, but all the moments with him in there.
He's in the movie for like 5 minutes of screen time, maybe.
I wish he kind of.
That was kind of a letdown, but at the same time, it's just like even what he was in was awesome.
He's known as the lone wolf.
Yeah.
So he kind of just comes when needed, but he likes to stay on his own. I kind of wish he would have did more, and I feel like that was probably his decision. I don't think they really meant to tease him in that much. I think they probably got him in there as much as they could, because he may not want to. I mean, he's getting old.
I have no idea, man. I just know that every time he shows up on screen,
there's no way you don't want more Chuck Norris.
Western music starts playing, and it's just like Chuck Norris. And then he's just like, just casually walking along and shooting thousands of people down. It's just like, I don't know. That just made the movie for me.
Walker, Texas Ranger references. There's Chuck Norris jokes.
Self-referentiated Chuck Norris jokes.
Yeah,
I think the universe exploded when that happened.
Pretty much. So that was definitely a high point. The only low point highlight is probably the female.
Sorry, ladies.
It has nothing to do with females. It just has to do with this female in this movie.
Yeah.
It just wasn't needed.
They were filling a quota.
Yeah.
In a movie that's making fun of quotas being filled, I guess.
She's not going to bring people to the movies, and that's usually why most women are in action movies, is to bring in guys.
Yeah.
And it just didn't need that. With the names that are on this, payroll for this movie.
Movie's breaking new ground.
Yeah, just didn't need it. But do you have any highlights?
I'm in total agreement. Chuck Norris all the way.
Chuck Norris
that
all the way.
was my highlight. And then maybe the knife fight with Van Damme and Stallone.
Van Damme as a villain really worked out. I didn't.
Is it weird
think
that I thought
was
he was a
going to.
Hispanic dude the whole time? Something about the way he had those.
What?
I don't know. He had those glasses on. And I think I forgot who he was at first. I was like, "Who is this guy?" I couldn't think. It was was that Jean-Claude Van Damme? I didn't know at first. I was just like, he has a really weird accent.
Freaking seals over his knee. Yeah, Family Guy. Shout out to Family Guy. But I think he did a really good job as a villain. It was just kind of a weird part to see him in. I kind of wish he was on the good side, but I think he did a really good job. And
it was an awesome last scene.
Yeah. There's some really cool stuff. That's some. I guess I can say breaking new ground. There's some new action stuff. They keep it new.
I think his execution style. I'm not gonna spoil anything. I think his execution style was really strange. I could never see anything like that before.
There's some cool action surprises. It's not just generic. Who can shoot the most bullets? It's a lot more than that. But
they're playing it up to the biggest and most effect they can.
Yeah.
It's almost like watching a serious version of Hot Shots. But so Houston, I think before we give our final verdict on this film, we should explain the Real Talk rating system that we have just come up with.
Yeah, I kind of introduced it in my last solo review, and we kind of thought that the points were just a little too much, so we've kind of put our rating scale to 5 levels. The first one is unwatchable. We may nickname that later if we think of something quirky or fun. Or the first one's unwatchable. Just it's generic, unbearable, unwatchable. The second is it's meh, meh, meh.
Nah.
Meh. It's just it's good.
Average film.
It's okay performance and it like some things were right. Maybe the story was a good idea, but the actors were awful, or just one